Do you want to hear another story of this crazy Dalai Lama Mantas? I would like to speak about Namkha Rinpoche, a very high Tibetan Lama of Tibetan Buddhism, who lives in India, Nepal. Now, Namkha Rinpoche. I have done some videos about this, but the experience I had with Islam is so beautiful that those videos I had done, I had to delete them. They are not beautiful enough to express my experience I had. Namkha Rinpoche. Namkha Rinpoche I consider as one of my masters, as one of my few enlightened beings I have met in my life, in my physical presence. Abuelo, the shaman from the jungle, I have studied with, and Namkha Rinpoche, the Tibetan Lama. So I feel so strong connection with Namkha Rinpoche because I know him from before, say previous lives. He was my teacher, my master. Maybe that's why sometimes I just watch a video, for example, on YouTube with him. And when I see him walking, his posture, I start feeling so affected. I start crying. My body starts kind of shaking. I feel so much veneration, so much deep respect to him, and so much gratefulness, and so much light, so much realness about that, you know? So the Lama, please tell us about your experience. How did you meet Namkha Rinpoche in this life? Okay, that's why I'm making this video after all. It was in 2008, 2009 when I left Nepal, left Lithuania to go to the Himalayas, and that's where I wanted to find all of those enlightened beings and practice with them, with yogis in the caves or with Tibetan masters. However, my experience over there in India and Nepal wasn't as I had expected. Again, I expected something, right? I hadn't met enlightened beings. I had met only people who call themselves and who are being called masters, spiritual enlightened masters, who are just, oh man, so superficial, so the same bullshit thing, you know. So I became skeptical about all of that. It was also a bit hurting too, to search and not to find anybody real, and to find all of these fake people, you know. My lesson was, what I have learned with that maybe was to stop searching and to understand that I don't have to search for another one like me or another one who is more enlightened. I simply continue my own way of my meditations and my practice of yoga. However, yeah, I have wandered around some Tibetan monasteries, meeting some Tibetan masters, but my experience wasn't something that would affect me in any way, and this is when I said I'm tired of this Tibetan Buddhism, of those yogis, of all of these stories. I don't see anything of that. And then, as I was crossing the border to Nepal, I got to know a really good friend of mine, a brother of mine, Andrei, a Russian guy, who was a Tibetan Buddhist and who came from Russia. He came to India, Nepal, mostly because he wanted to participate in one ceremony, in one ritual, to see Namkha Rinpoche, the same master I'm talking about. So Andrei tells me, he said, man, you should go with me to this monastery. Namkha Rinpoche is a very high lama, and he's going to come, and it's very auspicious opportunity for us to see him, you know. I said, man, I'm saying to Andrei, I'm saying, I'm not interested. I have seen those lamas. I'm not interested, Andrei. However, I was enjoying so much time with my friend, with Andrei, a really great man, and I didn't have better plans to do, so I said, and finally I said, okay, let's go. Since you are going there, let's go to that monastery. And this is where we went. It was close to Nepal, Kathmandu. I think it was Parping, one kind of Tibetan community, different monasteries. And we arrived at the monastery, and Namkha Rinpoche was about to come from another monastery, maybe from India, to give kind of a visit to this monastery in Nepal, and to give there a puja, a ceremony, a ritual that lasted like 7 days or 10 days. So anyways, we arrived at the monastery. Namkha Rinpoche is not here. Namkha Rinpoche is about to come the next day. We got accommodated. Me, my friend, there were some other people. And the next day we are waiting for the Namkha Rinpoche to come. So he's coming from outside, and there's all of this gathering kind of ceremony. Monks standing by the sides of the road with their trumpets and those instruments, and holding their flags and holding those white kind of towels. Sorry if they're not towels, I don't remember how they're called. A lot of people, monks, you know, like I would calculate like total about 1,000 people maybe, probably. And I placed myself further from the whole thing. Me and myself and my friend Andrei, we placed ourselves further from the road, from the people, you know. As I said, I'm not really interested. I'm not going to be fighting to be in the first line, you know. And Namkha Rinpoche is coming. All of these sounds around, they're playing their all of those, you know, Tibetan music. Beautiful, I like it. Namkha Rinpoche is coming with some other monks or lamas around him. And as he's approaching, I had a bad sight. I had to have glasses, but I wouldn't use them. I had bad sight over then, and I couldn't really see him so well. But I saw that his face was really serious. And indeed, some people, when they see him or his face, they would think that he may be angry or something, because his face is so serious, so serene, so powerful, his face. And he's walking, and all of the people around him at the sides of the road, they are performing their ceremonies, prostrations, and, you know, everything. But Namkha Rinpoche keeps on going, looking just forward, not turning to the right, not to the left, not turning to the right. He's just looking forward, his face really serious. And then he's approaching to the place where I am, and I see him walking there. Suddenly he turns his head and looks to me. and I see him looking to me. Now I see his face and he starts smiling. The most beautiful smile I have ever seen. So beautiful, so grace-giving, so... And at the same time I feel as if light is shining to me from him. Not physical light, but it feels as energy coming from him, love coming from him, a transmission coming from him, and I have a spiritual experience. I feel bliss in my body, I feel energy in my body, I feel consciousness in my body and all around. I feel grace coming from him, love and light coming from him, peacefulness and serenity coming from him. Such a luminous experience that makes me enjoy bliss, you know, enjoy ecstasy. Everything is like of gold, you know. And Lamkar Rinpoche keeps on walking forward while looking sideways to me. He keeps on walking, looking sideways, and I'm having this experience. And I'm aware how all of the people become surprised. All of those monks, what has happened, you know? Lamkar Rinpoche was walking, looking forward, face serious. Suddenly he looks somewhere over there and he starts smiling. Where is Lamkar Rinpoche looking to? Why so long? He keeps on walking, he keeps on looking over there, sideways smiling. And I'm aware of all of these people, all of these monks starting to looking in my direction, kind of searching to whom is he looking at. Here, right to my right, less than 1 meter away, I have my Russian friend Andrei, and I see Andrei, he's looking to Lamkar Rinpoche, looking to me. Lamkar Rinpoche, looking to me, like, surprised, what is going on here? And I'm standing, I'm looking only to Lamkar Rinpoche, you know, and I'm aware of all these people starting to look into my direction. The whole experience like that. And then Lamkar Rinpoche turns his head back, because he had to I think he had to kind of turn and walk to the right. He turns back and his face, that I see from purple, you know, changing, is serious again. No more smile. And he kept on walking. He entered the temple. And there I stand myself, and I see all of those people looking to me and wanting to ask me, what had happened to you? What had happened to you? My friend Andrei is asking to me, what Lamkar Rinpoche was looking to you. What had happened? Tell us. And I feel like, please, leave me alone. I don't know what had happened, but I want to maintain this feeling within me, you know. This was an experience of 5-10 seconds maybe. However, it had left a big mark within me. It was a transmission. It was a re-encounter.